Hi there. Welcome to another episode from Politically Incorrect. And I was thinking about this Roe versus Wade decision. I'm going to get right into the discussion. I think that I'm going to just recap. So Roe versus Wade, um, in 1973, if you guys don't know, was a landmark decision. Roe versus Wade was a landmark decision in of the U.S. Supreme Court, in which the court ruled that the Constitution of the United States protects a pregnant woman's liberty to choose to have an abortion without excessive government restriction. It struck down many U.S. federal and state abortion laws and prompted an ongoing national debate in the United States about whether and to what extent abortion should be, who should decide the legality of abortion and methods the Supreme Court should use in constitutional adjunction, and what the role of religious and moral views in the political sphere should be. Roe versus Wade reshaped American politics, dividing much of the United States into abortion rights and anti-abortion movements while activating grassroots movement on both sides. And that's kind of what I wanted to go into. Let me see. So the Due Process Clause of the 14th Amendment to the United States Constitution provides a fundamental right to privacy that protects a pregnant woman's liberty to choose whether or not to have an abortion. This right is not absolute and must be bound. Okay, but that's an argument. That's what I'm going to talk about. Just know that is where I'm coming from. Let me give you something here. Okay, so let me play something for you, and I'm gonna hope to make sense out of it all. Okay, I'm going to give credit to today. The name of this is "Will the Supreme Court Overturn Roe versus Wade?" And this is where we are. And I thought I would just ask the question and kind of think about where does that leave us here now. Okay, so I'm gonna play some video and give commentary on it. This is all for fair use. All right, here we go. Oh wait.
On Wednesday, nearly a half century after that decision, the Supreme Court heard oral arguments in a challenge to a Mississippi law that bans most abortions after 15 weeks of pregnancy. For Americans opposed to abortion, justices offered hope that the long-held goal of overturning Roe now may be within reach. NBC's Ali Vitale has our Sunday focus.
A woman's right to an abortion, now front and center at the Supreme Court, where anti-abortion activists have wanted it for years, and where pro-choice advocates have long feared it would end up. The latest and perhaps most viable challenge to the landmark Roe versus Wade decision, coming in Dobbs versus Jackson Women's Health, stemming from a 2018 Mississippi law that banned abortions after 15 weeks of pregnancy, challenging the standard set in Roe that allows abortion up to 24 weeks.
Life is so precious, and these babies have a chance now, as 48 years ago they may not have.
It comes as the court is majority conservative, transformed by 3 justices bitterly fought over but eventually appointed by former President Trump.
This confirmation process has become a national disgrace.
The court now seeming poised to overturn or undermine Roe's sweeping protections. Some justices signaling an openness to allow more restrictive measures without banning the practice altogether.
If it really is an issue about choice, why is 15 weeks not enough time?
Others probing whether the court should assess this question at all.
The Constitution's neither pro-life nor pro-choice on the question of abortion, and they would say, therefore, it should be left to the people, to the states, or to Congress.
Liberal justices, meanwhile, warning of changing 50 years' worth of precedent and how a final decision could affect the court's credibility as a non-political body.
Will this institution survive the stench that this creates in the public perception that the Constitution and its reading are just political acts? I don't see how it is possible.
Should Roe fall?
I just want to say this. I find it very uncomfortable discussing reproductive rights. But I think, but Roe versus Wade is something that changed history here. I mean, the decision, and I think that it being revisited. I'm gonna hold my thoughts on that till the end. But this definitely will be a landmark decision. I think it's important that we're aware of the things that's going around us, that's going to affect our families, our children, and our future. And these things. Oh, sorry about that. Oh shoot. These shoot. These things are just important. All right. So I'm so sorry about that. Let me go back to the video. Hang on. Somehow I lost my.
Even as a majority of Americans.
Let me go back a little bit.
To go someplace else. Something the late Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg knew well.
It hurts women who lack the means to go someplace else.
The renewed debate comes as multiple states like Texas and Missouri issue restrictive abortion laws, even as a majority of Americans say they favor at least some legal abortion. Democrats have responded by trying to shore up reproductive protections at the federal level.
We need to codify this into law.
But it doesn't look like that's going to happen in the Senate.
I was on a text chain yesterday with members who feel like there is still real possibility.
Republican Senator Susan Collins back at the center of this debate after voting to confirm Justice Kavanaugh.
I do not believe that Brett Kavanaugh will overturn.
His precedents are overturned.
Telling NBC News this week she's open to federally protecting abortion access, albeit in a more limited way. These December Supreme Court arguments teeing up a bombshell springtime decision right in the middle of the 2022 midterms.
And I think that element of people trying to control our bodies is something that is going to reverberate with people across the country and into the ballot boxes.
And Allie joins me now live. Allie, good morning. As I said, this has been a cultural and political fight for generations. So you touched on the midterm elections coming up next year. How might a sweeping change in abortion laws play out there?
It could have a big impact, Willie, because in the midterms, Democrats believe this could galvanize their base, especially if Roe were to fall or its protections were to be chipped away at. Because for Democrats, they think it'll underscore for voters why it's so critical for them to keep and grow their congressional majorities. But conservative voters could also see the fruits of their electoral labor in this too, because Trump and Republicans have for decades run on putting conservative justices on the courts. And when it comes to the precedent that this could set, there are also some who argue that this could have ripple effects beyond abortion, connecting this battle for the private right to choose to other court-decided issues like same-sex marriage. Willie?
We will find out in the span of the next few months. Allie Vitale, thanks so much, Allie. We appreciate it.
It's so important to be involved in your state. Oh my goodness, I'm losing my train of thought. The election, the presidential campaign is not different. We need to be involved in our state laws. The state enforces the law, and these things affect us. So when people say, "Oh, I don't need to vote," the presidential campaign goes off of the isn't off of the popular vote. But there's other things that you can vote for, and the state enforces the law. So you really need to be involved with your state and local representatives, the state campaigns and things like that. We do have a voice, and it does matter. And I think that if we don't vote, then we really can't complain about things that's not happening, because we're not even taking part in the democratic process. We're not even doing our part. So I don't like to hear, okay, it's one thing not to vote, but what about the statutes that's on the bills? What about things like that? There's a lot of things that we need to talk about, and this is a landmark decision. Let me tell you something. The fact that they're even revisiting Roe versus Wade, it's so important to be involved, whether you're pro-choice or pro-life. Please, please, please get involved in your local campaigns and the state campaigns. When I say local, I'm talking about the state, all right? I'm not talking about where, what's going on. Just be involved. Know what's happening around you. I think that we're spending so much time in celebrity news and all this other stuff that we're missing what's happening right next door. And what if you believe one way or the other, it's nice to have a reason for it and not just following a trend. I just wanted to bring this forward to you guys because the Roe versus Wade decision is something that I have thought about. extensively, and it's really interesting what's going to happen in the next few months in the next campaign. And yeah, so there you have it. That's what I wanted to bring forward to you. I want to know your thoughts about Roe versus Wade, and I am treading lightly because I understand there's a lot of feelings behind this, and rightfully so, because it changes the courses of what's going to happen with the woman's body and our right to have an abortion or not. That's the bottom line. And thank you for spending some time with me. I'm Nicole, and this is Politically Incorrect, but we can just kind of spend time just having. We can have conversations like these, but I do realize that it's a very sensitive topic, and if you like, I will cover how it started. Just leave me a comment after the stream, and I say be safe and be involved. Okay, talk to you soon.